Alright guys, American Trucker here. I just got to start off with saying that if you're at any kind of meat place, if you haul freight, it's chicken, beef, pork, anything, any kind of meat place, trust me on this. If you want to wear, trust me on this, you don't want to wear sandals or flip-flops walking around any kind of meat place. If you ever deliver, pick up, and you're a truck driver, you know what I'm talking about. You can do what you want, right? I don't care what people wear, whether they're at a meat place or not. Whether they're flatbedding, I don't care if they wear flip-flops, which you don't see very much. I don't care what people wear. I made a video the other day of a guy wearing pajamas. You know, it's just not me. I don't wear pajamas, flip-flops, things like that out in public. But you know what? I was thinking about that after I made that, short video. I guess you can do whatever you want. It's 2023. Anything goes. So what I'm saying is, I don't care what you wear, but for your sake, if you don't think that you're not going to step in some kind of chicken juice, and you know what I'm talking about, if you deliver poultry or beef or anything, it's going to happen. So you want to wear flip-flops or sandals at any kind of meat place, you're asking for it. I mean, I hope you got something in your truck to wash your feet with whenever you get back, because it's inevitable. There ain't no way around it. Some way, some point in time, you're going to step in it. And you know what I'm talking about if you deliver those places. But anyways, that's just a little rant. What I was going to get at is, I told you guys that I was going to do some payday videos, and today's payday cutoff for me. There's a fly in here. I'll get him in a minute. Anyways, today's payday cutoff for me, and it'll be my fourth payday. So once I get that in, Friday or Saturday, in a couple of days, I'll do the video on all 4 paydays so far for me. I can say right off the bat, it ain't nothing to brag about, that's for sure. But I told you, good or bad, I would let you know, the situation as far as getting paid here at Prime. Now, what I'm gonna do is, mine's a little different, but because I bought a truck and I'm leased on to Prime, where most people coming to Prime will be leasing, or that are with Prime are leasing a truck or company. But this is going to be, what I'll do is I'll give you my overall numbers, and then I'll tell you what the number would be if you were leasing a truck. I bought my truck and I don't have a truck payment. So I'll give you my net numbers, and I'll tell you what the net is, how I come to that number. And then I'll say, hey, if you were leasing, you can subtract this much for your truck payment and your APU payment. And I know about how much that is because I did that for a year when I leased with Prime. So anyways, people, some of the most favorite videos is people want to know how much money do you make. And there's so many videos out there of people just all over the place, and you don't really know what to believe, I guess. I didn't either whenever I started looking at videos, and people will be telling their gross numbers to try to sound like they're rich. Just all kinds of crazy stuff. Or they would tell you their net numbers and not tell you how they came up with that number, what all deductions, all this stuff. So I'm just going to give you the real deal on working for Prime. I'm going to give you my numbers, and I'm going to tell you what you would be making basically if you were leasing, paying a lease payment and an APU payment. And you'll have a good realistic number, no fluff, right? I could just tell you, what I wanted to tell you, but I'm gonna give you the real deal. And like I said, the first 2 weeks I got off to a really slow start. I made some bad decisions as far as where I wanted to go to get off the yard when I first left Prime the first week, and but that was okay though. There's a reason for that, the reason why I did that. But after that, the third paycheck wasn't too bad, and I'm waiting on this paycheck. It would have been probably okay as well. We'll see what it turns out to be, but I just finished a load and missed a cutoff by like an hour. So it'll go on next paycheck. So next paycheck will probably be at least good or better. But anyways, I'll give you some realistic numbers on that. And there's one more thing I wanted to talk about. Oh yeah, so I got it. We're truck drivers. We're tough guys, and we're out on the road and OTR, and we're, I get it. I spent 24 years in the military. I understand, I understand being a tough guy, alpha male, all this stuff, but I just feel like truck drivers in general, there's 50-50. Some are okay, and then some are just the opposite as far as respect. And you know what? You don't even have to respect me. It doesn't bother me. I mean, we could have some crosswords if we need to, but in general, though, I don't need you to call me sir or anything like that. You know, you talking to me or passing by or anything like that. You don't even got to wave at me if you don't want to. You know, passing each other in the truck stop or whatever, or nod your head or nothing. I don't even care if you can even acknowledge me. But what does irk me, though, is when you're out in public, whether you're in a truck stop or I've recently seen this sitting down at Cracker Barrel, and at this particular incident I'm about to talk about, but and you just don't care about your surroundings and who's around you. So my thing is, when I'm around my friends or something, that's one thing, but when I'm out in public around people I don't know, maybe it's just the way I was raised, but I don't sit there. I'm saying this because there was a guy that was doing this. He was probably mid-30s, him and another buddy. I was sitting there getting something to eat, and then, you know, all around us was older people. I don't know what it is, but Cracker Barrel generally draws the older crowd. You know, when I say older, I mean older than me, and I'm 48, but I just wouldn't say anything out loud. I wouldn't, you know, dropping the F-bomb every other word, or talking about females and, you know, vulgar jokes into your buddy, whatever, when there's a 80-year-old woman sitting 4 feet away from you and you're just being obnoxiously loud, right? Not just loud, but obnoxiously loud, laughing, telling vulgar jokes, you know, saying the P word, dropping the F-bomb, all this stuff. I mean, that angers me, right? There's not a whole lot that gets under my skin. Generally, I take things in stride pretty good, but stuff like that really angers me. I just imagine if that was my mother sitting there, you know, or my grandmother sitting there, and there's some punk over here could give two craps about anybody else around him, and just acting like a 10-year-old would act with no discipline. So I didn't mean to get on that rant, but just be aware of your surroundings, and, you know, have a little bit of respect, especially for the elder people or young kids around you. You know, I mean, if you're around a group of guys and you're all act the same way for the majority of the part, and there's nobody else around, and do whatever you want to do. It's a free country. You can do whatever you want to in Cracker Barrel. It's still a free country, but it's just very disrespectful, and it's unfortunate because people will judge you off that. Whether you might be a great person, but you just might be in a joke-telling mood and just got the blinders on, and you're not, you know, thinking about who's around you, whatever. You know, a lot of older people don't want to hear stuff like that. You know, so kind of know your surroundings, know your audience, know who's around you, and save some of those jokes and some of that vulgar talk and stuff whenever, you know, you and your buddies are on the phone in the truck going down the road, and tell all you want to. You know, by all means, whatever keeps you entertained. But just a little rant. Like I said, I spent 24 years in the military, and I can, you know, get just as vulgar as anybody, but I always try to have respect for people around me. If I didn't know them, I would just treat it like they were, you know, somebody I wanted to be respectable around, or if they were older than me, and I just assume that they probably ain't into listening crap like that. So anyways, other than that, like I said, the payday videos are coming up. I'm gonna do 4 of those, which is my first 4 paydays. 2 days from now will be the 4th one, and then I'll let you know, kind of how I got off, why I got off to a rocky start, and then, like I said, the 3rd payday was decent, and then we'll see what this one is tomorrow. It would have been probably just as good or better than the 3rd one if I'd have got this last trip on, but you know, like I said, it'll roll over to the next payday, so it shouldn't be a big deal. I can tell you right now, though, that I've noticed a difference for sure, and I don't think it's my fleet manager. I really don't. I think it's just freight is just not as abundant. So if Prime has the same amount of drivers as they did 4 months ago, whenever I finished my lease and came back, if they have the same amount of drivers but freight is less, well, then obviously, you're not going to have as much freight. You're going to have a little more wait time, or you're going to have a little more lag time in between loads, and that's definitely been happening. I've definitely noticed that. And I've noticed that when I do get a load, sometimes there's just too much time between the time I pick up and the time I get there and then drop off. This last load I just did, I waited. I got to the receiver at 12:30 yesterday, and I don't think this was the load's fault, but it was the receiver's fault, and I delivered the next day at 10 a.m. So I don't like doing that. I don't like being out here sitting. Of course, I got detention pay for that, but I like to keep the wheels moving, keep the, you know, I don't like to be out here taking my time every day. Every once in a while it's good, I got it, but I just don't like I don't like sitting out here too much. You know, that's the whole object of me being out here, is stay out 4 to 6 weeks at a time and you know, just burn it up, burn the wheels up, get as many loads as I possibly can, get in and make as much money as possible during those 4 to 6 weeks, and then go take some time off and, you know, relax a little bit, and then come back and do it again. I don't like dragging it out while I'm out here, but I've noticed rates aren't as good either. I really haven't got a good paying load yet, and this is this will be my 4th paycheck, so that's not a good recipe when freight rates are low and freight availability is low. The only thing that's really keeping me hanging on right now is the fact that I don't have a truck payment. So I feel for the guys that are leasing right now who have that truck and APU payment and excessive mileage and all that stuff that goes along with it. But yeah, I think that's about it. So I'll give you guys another video and an update. Again, like I said, talking specifically about pay coming up. And don't be wearing sandals or flip-flops at a chicken plant. It's not going to turn out good for you. Alright guys, American Trucker, I'm out.